Hello everyone, and today I'm going to read about Galileo, who was a scientist, and now he died. Let's find out. Let's find out if he died when down. This year is 2022. Let's find out by reading this book. Written by Kath and Sarah Carmarthen, illustrated by Wesley Louis. Focus question. How do questions lead to new discoveries? Introduction. What do a chandelier and the planet Venus have in common? They each played a part in the discoveries of one of history's greatest scientists 500 years ago. His name was Galileo Galilei. Galileo's childhood. Galileo was born in Italy in 1564. From a young age, he was good at asking questions. His question got him in trouble. Galileo changed the way we understand the world. The student. As a young man, Galileo wanted to learn about math and physics, the science of matter, energy, and motion. He made one of his first discoveries in physics a year before he entered university. One day in 1582, Galileo watched a chandelier hanging from the ceiling inside a church. He saw that the wind outside was making the chandelier swing back and forth. He also saw something strange. Although some wings were wider than others, every swing took exactly the same amount of time. By watching the chandelier, Galileo discovered that the weight of that swing back and forth can keep time. Later, he figured out how to build a clock using this idea. Clocks like his are still in use today. Galileo did not study math when he first entered university in 1583. His father wanted him to become a doctor instead. Galileo's study of medicines never interested much through. In fact, he never finished his studies. He left university 1585 because of money problems. For the next 4 years, Galileo taught his math. However, he did not give up his interest in science. The professor. In 1589, Galileo returned to the university as a math professor. He continued to ask questions and tested things. For example, he did several tests with falling objects to see what would happen. However, the discovery that would make him famous were still to come. Did you know? There was a famous story about one of the Galileo's experiments. When he was a young professor, the story goes, he dropped 2 cannonballs from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. One cannonball was much heavier than the other, but they fell at the same speed. Today, it's not certain whether Galileo really tossed cannonballs from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The astronomer. In 1609, Galileo heard about a spyglass invented in the Netherlands. When a person looked through the spyglass, far away objects looked closer. Galileo had never seen a spyglass, but he figured out how to build one. Soon he was able to make objects far away look 30 times bigger. In other words, Galileo built a telescope. He began to use his telescope to study the night sky. Galileo's telescope changed his life and science forever. With his telescope, Galileo made discovery after discovery. He saw that the surface of the sun sometimes had dark spots in it. He discovered Jupiter's 4 largest moons. He was the first person to see that the planet Venus appeared to change shape, just as the moon does. Sometimes Venus looked like a full circle, and sometimes it was just a thin slice of light in the night sky. Galileo put some of these discoveries in a book called The Starry Messengers in 1610. The book made Galileo famous, but fame has a price. During Galileo's time, many people believed that Earth was the center of our solar system. They thought that the other planets and the sun moved around Earth. They also thought that planets such as Venus moved in small circles as they made big circles around Earth. This would mean that Venus would only appear in a crescent shape in the night sky when seen from Earth. Galileo saw through his telescope that Venus has many different shapes when seen from Earth. Earth was both moving around the sun. When seen from Earth. These changing shapes suggested that Venus and Earth were both moving around the sun. And the trouble with the church. Galileo's discovery about the solar system got him in trouble. The Catholic Church was not happy about his ideas because they were different from church teachings. For centuries, the church had taught that Earth was the center of a solar system. The church believed that the sun, moon, and planets and stars all move around the Earth. But Galileo's discovery of the changing shapes of Venus didn't fit this picture. Taken together, Galileo's discovery were big clues that the solar system moved around the sun, not Earth. He was not the first person to come with this idea. However, his discoveries were best proof yet that Earth was not the center of our solar system. The church did not like this idea. That at that time, the church could put people on trial for ideas that went against church teachings. In 1633, the church put Galileo on trial and found him guilty. Galileo was forced to say that his discoveries had been lies, even though he knew that they were not. The church ordered Galileo to stay in his home for the rest of his life. He also told not to publish any more books. Did you know? A popular but unproven story said that Galileo talked back to the judge at his trial. The story says that the Galileo whispered, and yet it moves, under his breath, as after he was forced to say that Earth did not move around the sun. This story was not included in the records of the trial and is probably not true. However, the words and yet it moves have become very famous. People quote them even today. Galileo continued to write down his ideas anyway. He published his final book, To New Science, in 1638. At this point, Galileo had become blind and his health was poor. He died in 1642 of natural causes. So poor for him. Science after Galileo. We know that Galileo was right, but that how does the church do that? And the church was not right. Earth does move around the sun. Galileo gift for asking important questions helped him make some of the greatest discoveries of his time. Galileo was the first scientist to say that the laws of nature could be written down using math. He also one of the first scientist to always use measurements in his experiments. In this way, he made it easier for other scientists to test his ideas. Galileo was a model that for many scientists who followed him, including Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. Today, we call him the father of modern science. Yes. Science and the Catholic Church. In 1757, the Catholic Church removed Galileo's book from the list of banned books. In 1992, the Church cleared Galileo of any wrongdoing. The modern Church accepts many proven scientific facts and has supported scientific research for centuries. Connections. Writing. Research to learn more about one of the Galileo's discoveries. Write at least one paragraph describing the discovery and how it changed people's understanding of the world. Science. Draw a diagram or create a model of the solar system, include details that Galileo discovered. Share your work with your class. Goodbye everyone. See you later, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Okay, so now we have learned that Earth really did move around the sun. Now I'm ending this video. Goodbye everyone.